The Spitfire is one of the most important aeroplanes in history. More Spitfires were built than any other combat aircraft, over 20,000, and its designer was Reginald Mitchell.
Reginald Mitchell was born in Kidsgrove and went to school in Stoke-on-Trent. He was only 8 when the Wright brothers made their first powered flight in 1903. After finishing school at the age of 14, Reginald Mitchell took an apprenticeship at the steam locomotive factory of Kerr Stewart & Co. in Fenton, Stoke-on-Trent. After finishing his apprenticeship, aged 22, Reginald Mitchell joined Supermarine Aviation in Southampton. This was the start of a remarkable career, and by 1920 he was chief engineer. Mitchell was one of the leading aircraft designers of his day. He designed 24 aircraft during his career, including the iconic Supermarine Spitfire. Mitchell was responding to the Air Ministry's need for a new fighter aircraft. In doing so, he looked to his previous work in high-speed racing seaplanes for inspiration.
By 1931, Mitchell's brilliant monoplane seaplanes had won the Schneider Trophy outright for Britain and set new airspeed records. His Air Ministry commission for a single-seat fighter monoplane went through various designs, and the final prototype, powered by a Rolls-Royce Merlin engine and with its distinctive elliptical wings, flew on March the 5th, 1936. It was called the Spitfire.
The Spitfire is the only fighter aircraft to have been built before, during and after the Second World War. It's a testament to the quality of Mitchell's original design. Men and women worked together in aircraft factories to assemble Spitfires and get them to the front lines. Pilots and engineers were recruited from across the world and from a range of different ethnic backgrounds and nationalities, such as Adam Ostrowski from Poland and Mohinder Singh Pooji from India. People like Rita Baines were members of the ATA, an organisation transporting aircraft from their factories to RAF bases to then go to the front lines for active service.
Before we climbed into the cockpit, we consulted our ferry pilot's notes. These reminded us about the starting methods, fuel and hydraulic management and vital flying speeds, and then we just got in and took off. It was essential that we knew as much as possible about each plane we flew.
Like many towns and cities, Stoke-on-Trent was bombed during the Second World War. This is Taylor Avenue in Maybank. How do you think these people felt when their homes were destroyed? The Spitfire is everyone's story, and there were many people from Stoke-on-Trent who flew Spitfires.
28th of September 1944 was an exciting day for me when I flew my first Spitfire. I could see why every pilot who flew Spitfires was so in love with the plane. It was so manoeuvrable, so easy to handle and responsive to the lightest touch.
KMF worked alongside artist Suhail Sheikh to manufacture a full-size stainless steel sculpture of the iconic World War II Spitfire. You can see this on the new Etruria Valley Link Road, which connects the Wolstanton Junction on the A500 with Festival Park. We have some of Suhail's paper models here in the Spitfire Gallery. You can see a Spitfire and a Hurricane on display alongside Spitfire RW388. What inspires me about the Spitfire is the fact that every part tells a story of great engineering minds who solved problem after problem that was put in front of them. The museum is free to visit, so please bring your families to the Spitfire Gallery once you've finished your project. We look forward to seeing you.